Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm going to talk about credibility and some stove designs. And basically, I've been surfing the net, and people have been emailing me asking me to make this video because my credibility's been brought into question. I don't want to bore you guys with this, but I need to clear it up, and I'll probably post this video on the website that's doing it when I get done. If you're not a stove fanatic of ultralight backpacking stoves, turn this off right now because you won't understand it and it won't mean anything to you. It's a waste of your time. So don't leave me a comment at the end of this saying, wow, what a waste of time, you idiot, because I'm warning you ahead of time. If you're not an ultralight backpacking alcohol stove fanatic, don't even bother to watch this. Okay, I'm going to start out. This is the BIOS 2.1. And I'm going to give you the history of it right from the start to the end so you'll understand this whole thing, how this came about. The first person to take a Bud Light aluminum bottle and make a stove out of it was Bill Ballo, the owner of White Box Stove. He took the top and cut it off and put it inside and then pop riveted it together, polished the stove, no wick, called it the White Box Stove. Really nice stove, sold a lot of them. I saw Bill's idea, and what I did was I built a stove a lot like it, but instead of putting the pop rivets in, I rolled the top edge right down, crimped it right over, and made it pop rivet less, which is a lot smoother, better looking design. Okay, now there's two things I need to say on this. To do that, I needed a forming die. Now, I measured the stove, found a machinist with a machine shop named Michael Cope, and we talked about it, and I told him what I wanted, and he made a few suggestions. Between the two of us, we designed a die, and when I got the design the way I wanted it, he sent me CAD/CAM prints of it. When I okayed it, he built me the die just to roll the top down to lock the inner piece and the outer piece. And I sold a lot of those. That stove was called the BIOS. Next, I took the step one step further. I designed a set of dies so that instead of cutting the top off and putting it inside and then rolling the edge down, I designed an idea, and Michael Cope made me the dies, to roll the entire stove, invert it in on itself so that it's one piece. Turn it actually right outside in, as you can see on this one. It goes up and then turns around, compresses, and goes right inside. So it's a one-piece stove, inverted one-piece stove we call it, and I added a wick to preheat it. This was my original design. Nobody else was in on this. I came up with it myself. It's no great claim to fame, but since I did do it, since it's very unique and probably my most unique stove, I'd like to get credit for it. Nobody else did this. It was me. Not bragging, just fact. And I wouldn't be able to say this if I didn't have 1,000 members of my website who all will back me up on this. You can go to my website, go to the adventure site, go to the comment, put in, just make up a username, go in and just ask. My username is Tinny. Did Tinny of Mini Bowl Design, the owner of this website, invent the inverted one-piece design? And I think everybody there will back me up, all 1,000 of them. There's no question about it. So I can't lie about this, because if I did, I'd be in big trouble. I invented that. Okay, getting past that. Someone on another website is spreading a false rumor that this outside wick is prickly like fiberglass insulation, and that you don't want to get it on your hands and get it near your face or anything. That is false. This is nothing like fiberglass insulation. Nothing comes off of it, and it's totally inert. Nothing to be scared of. There's no fibers coming off of it. It's all locked together, permanently bonded on. It'll last forever. Okay, like I said, nothing. It's a lie. Another person has spread a rumor that this wick is inefficient and heavy, and that you're better off just to light the stove from the inside and let it preheat on its own. To that, you can light the inside of it, and originally this stove was designed that way without a wick, but it takes about a minute and a half of burning before it'll preheat and blossom, and that burns off, quite a bit of your fuel. Way about 4 or 5 times more than the little bit of fuel you have to put on the wick and light it. And if you put fuel on the wick and light it, it preheats in about 10 to 15 seconds rather than a minute or two. So this wick actually is way more efficient than lighting the inside of the stove. So wrong on that one. And they say it's heavy. Well, I've weighed a piece of this wick on the scales and it doesn't even register. So you probably got more mud and one cleat on your boot that weighs more than the wick on this stove. And then again, when they say, oh, well, you get this fiberglass in your back, baloney. There's nothing there. It's, like I said, totally inert, no fibers. I run thousands of feet of this through my hands weekly. About every 2 weeks, I use a mile of this in this shop, and I run it right through my bare hands, every piece of it. You can go to my videos and watch me wind pots with it, bare hands. Never had any kind of prickly reaction or any kind of, like with fiberglass, and nothing. It's just like using an egg box string. Baloney. Okay, one of the other people watched one of my videos. I made a video on how to make this stove, but before I did that, I had video just showing how I make them with my dies. Now this person watched that video, which was probably a month before I made the video showing actually how to do it on your own. And he's fairly smart, fairly clever. He figured out a way to do it. He doesn't have the right die, so they don't come out right, but he figured out how to do it. From this video that I made a month before I released the design to the public. I've got a video showing you how to make this stove, and I gave it to the public. Anybody wants to make this stove, it's fine. The only thing that I ask is that if you make this